AITAH for gifting my granddaughter a custom-made cookbook instead of something a little pricey. Originally posted by you, First Owl 7199 in our AITAH on April 19, 23, updated on April 23, 23. An NBSP. Original. April 19, 23. An NBSP. AITAH for gifting my granddaughter a custom-made cookbook instead of something a little pricey. Hello everyone. I am new on Reddit. My friend's son told me about this app and told me I should post it in here to get some unbiased opinion. I, 59F, have 3 kids. 39M, 35F, 32F. My husband died 10 years ago. From then I have been on my own. I live in a small townhouse. I am not poor, but I am comfortable with my living situation. So, recently, my son Keith, 39M, told me he wanted to throw a party for my granddaughter Rita's 18th birthday because she is going to be an adult. He wants the day to be memorable to her. I know my son. He loves his kids very much. I love my grandkids as well. I know he is going to buy her some expensive gifts. I, on the other hand, cannot afford to buy something expensive, but I wanted my gift to be thoughtful and show efforts that I love Rita as well. So, I had an idea. I have been a home cook for more than 30 years. I used to work in a restaurant before and then moved on to having my own catering business in my early years. I loved creating new recipes and altering the old ones to my own. So, I had an idea to make a compilation of some of my signature recipes and make them into a book. I wrote down 20 recipes on my computer, and with the help of some grateful people I was able to print them out. I then had another idea to make the recipes into a cookbook. So, I went on a publication house and told them to make a cookbook that looks like an ancient book, except it will contain recipes. I did that because 1. Rita has a passion for cooking. She wants to go to culinary school and hope to open her own restaurant chain. 2. Rita also likes things that are like medieval. She is into one of those Lord of the Rings kind of things. So I thought it was a thoughtful gift for my lovely granddaughter. When the day arrived, I packed it up along with her favorite cookies. When it was time to open the presents, she got a lot of stuff, and when it was time for mine, I was happy. She opened it and gasped. I explained it to her that the book contains all the signature recipes I have made over the years, and I want her to have it. She said thank you and that she appreciates my gift and someday she will try to recreate it. Everyone seems to be happy except for her mother. She pulled me aside and told me I should have made more effort into her gift and not give her some cheap book. I was appalled. I told her Rita likes it and that's all that should matter. She told me Rita only pretended to like it because she doesn't want to be disrespectful and Rita is still a child who doesn't know anything, and also added that it was a little narcissist of me to make Rita's gift about myself and my cooking rather than it being about her. Now, I am sad. If Rita didn't like it, I would be happy to replace it, but it is now making me wonder if my gift was actually cheap or not. Should I have just bought something a little bit pricey rather than giving her a cookbook? An NBSP. In the comments. I have 5 journals in total filled with recipes. I also know some in my brain because I cook them so often. I would love to compile them. I honestly have little idea what today's generation likes, so I thought giving her this book would be nice since she always wanted to learn my cooking methods. I made that gift because Rita is the only one in our family that pesters me for cooking tips. Everyone else does praise my cooking and love to eat it, but she wanted to learn it. So I thought I would give her some of my dishes that I modified and added a little twist of my own. I know Rita liked it genuinely. I can tell that by her expression. But if I am being honest, it was bland compared to what others gave her. Her aunt gave her a designer bag and other stuff too. How she made the book. It was basically a printing house that belongs to my late husband's friend. I got discount on it. Has Rita's mom always been like this? What did your son say? My son doesn't know about it. He said my gift was thoughtful and he always loved my cooking and it is useful for Rita. My daughter-in-law is not bad. She respects me a lot, but I can say she is someone who likes things and likes to be pampered. I don't see any harm in that because I was just like her. I like to have some things that gave me joy and husband never said no to me. She can have a lavish life because my son earns a lot of money. Her mom may have been hoping you'd give her a big check to help with college. She doesn't need a big check. My son earns a lot and has a trust fund and a college fund for both his kids. Her mom also comes from a fairly well-to-do family. Commenters agree she is not the asshole and the book was a lovely gift. An NBSP. Update of my last post. April 23, 23. An NBSP. Hello. I want to thank everyone for your kind and warm comments. They are so nice and full of love. I know people have asked about what happened next. I wanted to give you some update too. I saw some of you advised me to ask Rita privately if she liked the book I gave her or not. I did. I called her up few days ago and just wanted to chat with her. After some small talk, I asked her if she liked the present I got for her. She told me she loved it. She has been reading all the recipes and will try to recreate them. She then out of the blue asked me if she and her brother could come to my place and stay. I told her they can whenever they want. I find it a little odd. They did stay over at our place when their mom and dad were going on a vacation. But I know for sure they are not. So, the next day, my son, Keith, dropped both my grandchildren, Rita and Tom, at my place. I know something was wrong as soon as I saw my son's face. I invited them in. I asked Rita and her brother to go to the kitchen and have some snacks, and I asked my son if everything was alright. My son looked a bit sad and angry. It was a mixture of both of those emotions. Then he revealed to me that he had an argument with his wife and that he is seeking a divorce. Obviously, I was shocked. They never seemed like a couple who would have problems. Whenever I saw them, they were like happy couples who couldn't stay away from each other for a long time. I asked him in details what exactly happened. Why is he seeking for a divorce all of a sudden? He didn't go much into details. He just said he and his wife got into an argument because of my gift. His wife apparently told him to make me buy a second gift that looked a little bit expensive, like something designer. He said to her that it was not necessary. Rita likes it and that's all that matters. They got into a significant altercation over this. My son confessed that he has been unhappy in his marriage for a long time. They would fight because of my daughter-in-law's habit of spending. My son does earn a lot, but to see his wife spending his hard-earned money on useless things really makes him mad. He tried to have a conversation with her because of it, but it failed. He also said there were other problems too, but he doesn't want to talk about it until he sorts this out. I regret that their argument was sparked by my gift. I hope they are able to sort it out. Regardless of what my son decides, I will be there to support him. I do feel bad for Rita and Tom. Rita is an adult and she can understand, but Tom is still 14. He has to grow up in an unpleasant situation. Before leaving, my son requested me if I could keep both of his kids with me for a while because the tension in his house right now is not healthy for them. I happily agreed. I don't mind having my grandkids with me. On the other hand, Rita has promised to help me find and compile my old recipes. Some of them are really old and the journal I wrote it on has been in bad condition. I think writing them in a Word document is a better option. Also, a lot of you guys ask me to release my cookbook. I don't know if I will do that. That sounds like a good plan, but I will put a pin on it for now. I have a lot in my plate right now. Edit. Hello everyone. I appreciate all the comments. But I don't think it is fair to criticize my daughter-in-law so much. Yes, I know she was wrong here. She is not perfect. None of us are. But she is not a bad person overall. So cut her some slack. An NBSP. I'm flaring this concluded as the granddaughter loves the book and the original issue has been resolved. Reminder. Do not comment on the original posts or contact the original poster. I am not the original poster. This is a repost. The gift was truly a blessing in disguise for the son. That dill sounds too materialistic. I grew up with my grandma making the best meals. Sometimes from only a few ingredients. She passed 20 years ago and I would give anything to have something like this from her pensive face. My mom died when I was 16 and I can't tell you how many times I have wished I had some of her recipes. This was an amazing gift. The Heritage Cookbook sounds just so lovely, smiling face. While it's never happy news to hear that people are divorcing, it's just a double underline on how oop was never ta. The dill comes off as shallow and grasping and neither is a very attractive trait. I'm glad the grandkids have oop to lean on in these hard times. I wish the best to oop and her family no matter what happens. Also, I think making the recipes into a published cookbook would be an awesome activity for oop and Rita to do together. That mother is acting like she was the one who was getting the gift. Imagine someone gives you such a good cookbook and you're like, nah. Looks too cheap for me. It's the content that matters, not the bloody cover. I just hate the idea that designer equals good. These days, designer items aren't usually even decent quality. Most are made in cheap factories right alongside the knockoffs. It's gone from items that are classy and last to disposable fashion and lifestyle goods. Buying stuff you like that is designer is fine. But liking stuff solely because it's designer just seems like that person is too lazy or dim-witted to have any style of their own. Broken English mill troll strikes again. Don't put them in Microsoft Word. I want photos of grandma's handwritten recipes bound into a book. Oh my goodness. I would cry if I found out a parent of mine had made such mean comments about such a lovely gift from grandma, and especially that the parent said Rita didn't like it. The dill is very materialistic and should be ashamed of herself. Yeah, nah. She helped her son to start the process of removing this toxic leech from his life. Because the behavior of the soon-to-be ex was not acceptable or normal in any way, shape or form. And even after all this, oop is still being nice even though her soon-to-be ex dill is not a good person. Still, I like oop. I would have loved a book with my grandmother's recipes. One year, my mom made a book for me and my siblings called Mom's Real Recipes. She has a habit of remembering what the recipe said and telling people that, but altering it the same way every time. So she spent months making all of her signature recipes and my dad carefully noted down exactly what she used. Even then she told my dad things which were in the recipe and not what she was putting in at the moment. I've since penciled in corrections. I have a few other cookbooks, but most of my recipes come from online. But I use Mom's Real Recipes all the time, and I treasure it. I can't imagine thinking a gift like this isn't special. The mother was probably jealous that the kid reacted more positively to the grandparents' gift. Unbiased opinion, their friend did them dirty LMAO. I'm not sure into cooking, but a cookbook with all my grandma's recipes in it would be amazing. Thankfully my cousin has my grandma's talent and can still make all the things she made. Love when a classic recipe is brought out for an event. Just takes you straight back to childhood. She even uses grandma's dishes so it is 100% identical. Between a designer item and grandma cookbook, I know which one I'd be valuing and treasuring the rest of my life. I do not care how expensive the designer brand is. I'm wanting my grandma's cookbook of food that I love over that my grandma did this for me a couple of years ago, and it was one of the best gifts I've ever received. I regret that their argument was sparked by my gift. I hope they are able to sort it out. Regardless of what my son decides, I will be there to support him. Ma'am, with all due respect, I do not think it's wise to get your hopes up for a reconciliation. The dill sucks, and the fact the whole family ditched her ass speaks volumes. I remember this one. It's a lovely gift. And Oop is an excellent grandma. On a materialistic note, I can't imagine custom making a cookbook is cheap. Though, I mean, even if Oop had written it on college-ruled sheets of paper and organized it in a folder, binder, other kind of binding, it would still be an excellent gift. But she contacted a printing house to make it. Sure, she got a discount, but I still think it had to be a little expensive. Just not enough for the elitist, gadget-obsessed mom. I'm so sad that she's blaming herself in the comments for the divorce. She made her granddaughter a gift that will be cherished and maybe even passed on. And the cracks in her son's marriage began long before Rita's birthday. I know she doesn't want to be too harsh on the dill, but being that materialistic is not a good role model to set. Even if she is a good mom in other ways, seeing their parents get divorced will show the kids that no matter what, you don't have to accept unreasonable conditions. And sometimes people are just fundamentally incompatible in even just a single way that cannot be overcome. Just a sad and completely avoidable situation.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.